Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting. Today, GameStop's CEO walks away from a $35 billion bonus to hunt down eBay. Anthropic's new AI is literally coding 65% of their products directly in Slack, and Brian Johnson has bad news for your vacation plans.
Yeah, a lot of bad news, honestly.
Welcome in. You are tuning into our deep dive where we take the absolute raw wire of today's top trending posts on X and filter it specifically for you.
Right, getting rid of all the noise.
Exactly. We are here to separate the signal from the noise, really looking at who wins, who loses, and the second order effects of these massive cultural and market shifts.
And I'm more than ready to tear into the day's consensus today. People love a good narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we actually look closely at what the data is telling us today, the consensus is just almost entirely wrong.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of illusions to shatter.
I love it. Well, I want to jump straight into the lead story dominating the financial wire right now because it is a massive swing, and honestly, I'm struggling to wrap my head around the mechanics of it.
It's wild.
It really is. So there's a post from the handle at unusual_Wales, and it details that GameStop, ticker GME, CEO Ryan Cohen, has formally withdrawn a performance bonus package that could have paid him up to, get this, $35 billion.
Insane amount of money.
Right. And the stated goal here, he says the company needs to remain laser-focused on operating performance and an unsolicited $56 billion bid for eBay at $125 per share.
Right.
I need you to break this down for me. How does a company famous for, selling physical video games in strip malls orchestrate a $56 billion hostile takeover of a Web 1.0 titan like eBay?
I mean, it sounds completely absurd on its face.
Yeah.
But we have to look at the leverage he's trying to manufacture here.
Okay.
So Cohen already has a 5% stake in eBay, and he's committed $500 million of his own personal money to this effort. He isn't just relying on GameStop's traditional revenue. He's basically weaponizing the company's retail stock valuation.
Which is astronomical.
Right. When a company's stock is highly elevated by retail sentiment, the so-called meme stock effect, they can use those heavily valued shares as currency.
To acquire companies that have much stronger fundamental cash flows.
Exactly. Traditional cash flows.
But eBay officially rejected the bid, right? Like they cited financing and integration concerns. So is that a legitimate financial structuring issue, or is something deeper happening in the boardroom there?
Well, look, legacy boards are absolutely terrified of retail-backed hostile takeovers.
Yeah, I bet.
It completely upends traditional M&A defense strategies. Usually you fight a takeover based on standard corporate valuations. But how do you defend against a suitor whose buying power is fueled by an army of internet retail traders?
Traders who just don't care about traditional multiples.
Right, they don't care at all. And as for the integration piece, Cohen plans to release synergy documents later this week outlining how they would actually merge live commerce with in-game sales.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
Synergies on paper between in-game digital economies and a massive auction site sound great, but integrating those decades-old tech stacks feels like an absolute nightmare.
Oh, it's a mess.
So who actually makes money in a move like this?
Well, in the short term, the bankers and the lawyers.
Always.
Always. But in the long term, it's a massive gamble. The fundamental viability rests on whether they can actually turn eBay's aging infrastructure into a modern engine for digital asset trading.
And if they fail,
then that retail-backed capital just evaporates.
Wow. So GameStop is basically using brute force to try and buy its way into a new era. But big tech takes a much more calculated approach.
They are calculated.
Yeah, there's a viral post from @Ramp Capital LLC outlining Mark Zuckerberg's latest strategy. Meta is reportedly launching something called Arena, which is a direct prediction market clone.
Shocker.
Right. And it aims to crush startups like Polymarket and Kalshi.
This is the classic Zuck playbook, man. And the second order effect here is what is truly brutal for the startup ecosystem. Meta doesn't need to innovate from scratch anymore. They just let startups burn billions of dollars validating a market. Polymarket and Kalshi took all the regulatory risk, right? They fought the legal battles. They proved the product market fit.
Well, Meta just sat back and watched.
Exactly. And now that the risk is effectively zero, they just swoop in with their unlimited distribution.
But doesn't that eventually kill the ecosystem for good? Like, if Meta crushes every successful startup by just cloning them and embedding the feature into an app billions of people already use, who is left to do their free research and development in 5 years?
That is the cynical beauty of it. It operates as an R&D subsidy paid for entirely by venture capitalists.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Think about it. The VCs fund the startups to prove the concept, knowing that, 90% will fail? The 10% that actually succeed get instantly cloned by Meta, who reaps the rewards without ever absorbing the initial burn rate.
So venture capitalists are essentially funding Meta's product pipeline. That is wild. But, while tech giants can easily just clone software to stay relevant, physical legacy brands can't exactly copy and paste their way out of a crisis.
Definitely not.
Let's look at a post today from @Polymarket regarding Ferrari. They just abruptly replaced their marketing chief, Enrico Galliera, with BMW's Massimiliano Di Silvestre.
Right.
And this is happening right on the heels of this massive backlash over their new loose EV. What exactly went wrong with this car?
Honestly, they completely misunderstood their own product.
Right.
The Loose EV is a $640,000 four-door electric vehicle.
4 doors?
4 doors. And they brought in Apple's former design chief, Jony Ive, and designer Mark Newson to help style it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and the result was an aesthetic that completely abandoned the classic Maranello sports car DNA.
Right, and the stock plummeted about 8% right after the reveal. Enthusiasts and even former chairman Luca di Montezemolo heavily criticized the unconventional look.
Because Ferrari is, it's arguably more of a luxury lifestyle and heritage brand than a traditional automaker.
People are buying an emotion.
Exactly. You buy a Ferrari for the visceral experience, the sound of a V12 engine, the aggressive aerodynamic styling, the racing heritage. When you bring in a tech designer to make a silent four-door EV, you aren't selling a Ferrari anymore. You're selling a luxury tech gadget.
It seems like a massive miscalculation.
Okay.
I mean, they might claim they have strong orders, but an 8% stock drop on a reveal means the market smells blood.
You cannot hack heritage. You just can't. You can't iterate a physical legacy brand the way Meta iterates a social media app.
Yeah, that friction between legacy hardware and the software revolution is actually a perfect bridge to the tech wire today. Let's look at what is happening at Anthropic.
Oh, this is big.
It is. I'm combining a flurry of posts here from @ClaudeDevs, @Claude A, @TRQ212, @CryptoPunk7213, and @Beatree. They are all talking about something called Claude Tag.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a monumental shift in how companies operate.
It is the death of traditional software engineering workflows as we know them.
The details are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Anthropic staff have integrated Claude deeply into Slack. It is not just a chatbot anymore.
No, it's an employee.
Literally. It has a specific identity, per-channel memory, and sandboxed execution. According to @ClaudeDevs, this AI is now writing 65% of Anthropic's product team code.
65%. Let that sink in.
Employees are literally just tagging at Claude in group chats, and the AI goes off, handles bugs, pulls PRs, and creates postmortems. It is like having a hyper-competent senior engineer who lives inside the group chat, never sleeps, and just turns your casual brainstorming into production-ready features.
We really need to define a couple of those mechanisms for you listening so you grasp the sheer scale of this.
Easy.
So when we say it pulls PRs or pull requests, we mean the AI isn't just generating text, right? It is actively submitting functional code to the company's repository and asking a human to review it, just like a hired developer would do.
And the sandbox.
Right. Sandboxed execution means they have given the AI a digital quarantine zone where it can actually run and test its own code safely before submitting it.
Are product documentation and traditional project management just officially dead then?
I mean, they might be. But this raises a deeply cynical question for me.
What's that?
If an AI is writing 65% of the foundational product code, what happens to the junior developers?
Oh, wow.
Right, the people who historically learned the complex architecture of a company's software by writing those mundane features and fixing those small bugs. We are cheering for incredible enterprise efficiency right now, but we are simultaneously building a massive black box.
Where nobody knows how it works.
Exactly. In 5 years, no human will actually understand the foundational code of their own company.
And we are already seeing the immediate danger of that dependency today. There was a viral post from @GeratTickets.
This is so funny.
It was a screenshot mocking CTOs frantically checking in on their engineers who make $450,000 a year during a public cloud outage. The post noted that there was actually a separate, fully functional government tier for the AI, while the public side was totally down. And they paired this screenshot with a hilarious video of adults completely failing a toddler's shape-sorting puzzle.
The joke hits hard because the reality is terrifying. The moment the AI crutch is kicked away, highly paid senior engineers are suddenly paralyzed.
Because they've offloaded the thinking.
They've offloaded so much cognitive load to the machine that they can no longer do the basic manual sorting.
But it goes way beyond just a temporary loss of productivity. Look at the post from @THSotio, the product lead for OpenAI's Codex.
Yeah, this was alarming.
He confirmed a massive bug where Codex caused 37 terabytes of continuous SQLite logging writes in just 21 days. I saw this and immediately knew it was bad, but I don't fully understand the hardware side. What actually happened here?
So to understand the damage, we have to look at the physical limits of the hardware. Consumer solid-state drives, or SSDs, have a metric called terabytes written, or TBW. It is a literal physical limit to how much data you can write to those memory chips before they degrade and permanently die. It's usually around 600 terabytes for a high-end drive. And SQLite is a lightweight, local database format often used by apps to log activity in the background.
So this AI tool was silently running in the background, ignoring user settings, and writing so much feedback data that it was threatening to physically destroy developers' hard drives.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I mean, they fixed the bug in under 48 hours, but it highlights the extreme cost of hyperspeed development. We were completely dependent on these tools, and when they glitch, they don't just slow down our coding.
They literally burn out our physical infrastructure.
Exactly.
It's like hiring a hyper-efficient assistant who organizes your files so fast they physically wear a hole through the bottom of your filing cabinet.
That's a great way to put it.
And big tech is feeling immense pressure to control this new chaotic paradigm. Look at the post from @Stipede. Google just fired an engineer, Justin Ponolt, for building a viral Google Workspace CLI, a command line interface. Peter Steinberger is now promoting an open-source, AI-friendly alternative called goggly.sh. Why on earth would you fire an engineer over a command line interface?
Because a command line interface destroys their primary moat.
How so?
Big tech companies are terrified of AI agents right now. Think about it. Google makes its money by keeping you inside its web interface. You look at your email, you see their ads, you use their specific user interface.
Right.
If a developer creates a tool that allows an AI agent to seamlessly interact with your email, your calendar, and your documents via a terminal window, you never have to visit the Google website again.
Oh, wow. And the open source community is just bypassing them entirely.
Completely.
We saw a post from Atnos Research about Hermes Agent. They introduced a /learn command where you can just point the AI at entire directories, PDFs, API docs, manuals, and it distills them into verified, locally saved files called skill.md. And alongside that, at JXMNOP, posted that his startup, Enneagram, just raised $98 million to build memory-native AI that updates every minute to learn your specific workflows.
That right there is the existential threat to legacy tech giants.
Persistent learning agents.
Yes, agents that live locally on your machine and adapt to your specific needs rather than forcing you to adapt to a corporate platform.
The behavior this is creating in humans, though, is borderline absurd to me.
Oh, for sure.
At Gabriel, one posted that to get the best out of these AIs, you shouldn't hold back on prompting. He suggests, quote, yapping for 15 minutes straight using voice commands to one-shot a feature.
Just talking to your computer for 15 minutes.
Yeah. And at Lumen_Rot, who works in regulation at Polymarket, just replied, clear signs of psychosis.
I mean, he's not entirely wrong. We are treating these algorithms like therapists or digital oracles, just monologuing at our laptops for 15 minutes, hoping the machine will perfectly translate our stream of consciousness into Python code.
Which is just wild. But, we can fix an AI logging bug in 48 hours and save a hard drive, but you cannot push an over-the-air update to the human body.
No, you cannot.
As we move into the culture and society segment of our Wire today, we are hitting the hard limits of our own biology. Tech biohacker Brian Johnson, under the handle @Brian_Johnson, just issued a strict warning based on his own biomarker data.
I saw this.
Limit international travel to once per quarter maximum.
He calls it a biological insult.
A biological insult.
Yeah.
He measured his biomarkers after traveling to China, India, and Australia, which is a brutal eastward 7-zone flight.
Rough.
According to his data, it takes 2 days just for your sleep duration to recover. It takes 5 days for your grip strength to return, 9 days for your cortisol rhythm to normalize, and a full 2 weeks for blood glucose and deep sleep to completely recover.
2 weeks.
We are optimizing our workflow to the millisecond with AI, but our biology requires 2 weeks just to recover from a plane ride. Does maximizing our biological efficiency mean we literally have to stop experiencing the globe?
I mean, the data he presents is fundamentally sound. The circadian disruption of crossing multiple time zones forces your internal organs to run on entirely different clocks than your brain.
Which spikes cortisol and wrecks glucose processing.
Right. But what's fascinating here is the social implication. The dystopian angle is that the ultimate high-status flex is shifting.
From traveling.
Yeah, it used to be globetrotting, posting pictures from a different continent every week. Now the ultimate luxury is having a perfectly synchronized cortisol rhythm and perfectly flat blood glucose, while a swarm of AI agents runs your companies in the background.
Wow.
Stillness is becoming the new status symbol.
But while Brian Johnson wants humans to stay perfectly still, companies are actually trying to gamify the movement we do have to make.
Naturally.
Take Tesla, posting from @Tesla today about their new Charge Stats 2 update. They're turning road trips into a literal game.
Yeah, I saw the UI for this.
They're mapping supercharger data with a sleek new neon UI and awarding digital badges for visiting iconic chargers like Yosemite or the Golden Gate Bridge. But how does a neon UI change the physics of a battery?
It doesn't change the physics, right? It changes the psychology. Range anxiety is still the #1 friction point for electric vehicle adoption. Waiting 30 minutes to charge is a massive physical friction.
So they distract you.
Exactly. By turning a raw utility, just plugging your car into a grid, into a dopamine hit where you earn a digital badge, they're keeping users locked inside the Tesla ecosystem and distracting them from the physical limitations of the tech.
That physical friction naturally leads us to the systemic friction in our legal and political frameworks. We have a highly engaged post today from @C_3 that is just lighting up the wire.
Yeah, this one is huge.
Let's outline the facts of this carefully. The post is regarding U.S. District Judge Sparkle El Sukanim, who, the post notes, was born in Trinidad and Tobago. She has officially blocked the Trump administration's Say V program. Elon Musk replied to this post with a single word. Exactly. Insane. I need you to neutrally unpack the mechanics here for us. How does this database actually work, and why is the legal system rejecting it?
Sure. So to understand the friction, we have to look at how elections are actually managed in the United States. Traditionally, voter rolls are administered entirely at the state level.
Okay.
The Say V program was designed as a centralized federal database to help states verify citizenship to maintain those rolls. Judge Suknin ruled that this centralized data aggregation is unlawful.
So what's the core tension here?
The tension here is a clash between two fundamentally opposing views of election infrastructure. On one side, you have election integrity initiatives that argue centralized databases are mathematically necessary for security and verification.
And on the other side?
You have privacy advocates who argue that massive centralized databases are inherently prone to aggregation errors, and that creates the risk of wrongly purging eligible voters.
So the friction is the traditional legal framework, which relies on decentralized, state-by-state administrations struggling to process modern centralized data aggregation tools.
Exactly. And it also highlights the ongoing debate over nationwide injunctions, where a single district judge has the authority to halt a federal program across the entire country. The old legal frameworks are just buckling under the weight of new data capabilities.
And those old frameworks are breaking down everywhere, honestly, even 15 million light years away.
Nice pivot.
Thank you. To wrap up our segment today, we have a post from @NASA highlighting new data from the Chandra X-ray Observatory regarding the Messier 83 galaxy.
Yeah, it's so cool.
They found over 20 supernova remnants, which are the remains of exploded stars. Now, standard astrophysics models say these remnants are supposed to fade slowly over centuries.
Right.
But the data shows they are fluctuating drastically in X-ray brightness over just a 14-year period. Why are they behaving so erratically?
So the mechanism NASA suspects is at play here involves high-mass X-ray binaries. When a massive star explodes, it can leave behind an incredibly dense core, either a neutron star or a black hole. In these binary systems, that dense core is locked in a tight orbit with a companion star. And the immense gravity of the black hole or neutron star actually physically siphons plasma off the companion star.
Wow.
Yeah, pulling it into a swirling accretion disk.
Yeah.
And as that material accelerates and heats up, it emits massive bursts of X-rays.
So the brightness isn't just the leftover explosion fading.
No.
It's the dead star actively devouring its neighbor, causing these rapid 14-year fluctuations.
Precisely. And it is the perfect encapsulation of our entire deep dive today, honestly.
Oh, it's so.
Well, whether it is the U.S. legal system clashing over the implementation of new centralized databases, our biology violently rejecting the jet lag of modern global travel, or the physical universe completely defying our standard astrophysics models of how stars are supposed to die.
Yeah.
Our old frameworks are constantly breaking down when they are exposed to new data.
Bringing this all together for you listening. Today's Wire showed us an ecosystem in radical transition. We saw M&A defense strategies upended by retail-driven capital with GameStop. We saw AI transforming from a passive software tool into an autonomous teammate living in our Slack channels and, threatening to wear out our physical hard drives.
Literally.
And we saw the biological and physical limits of our world pushing back hard against our endless need for optimization. So, based on everything we've analyzed today, what is your prediction for tomorrow?
My prediction is highly specific. Based on the overwhelming success Anthropic is having internally, with Claude Tag writing 65% of their code.
Yeah.
Within the next 24 to 48 hours, a major Fortune 500 company is going to quietly leak that they are eliminating an entire layer of middle management.
Oh, wow.
And the justification will be that ambient Slack AI is now fully capable of doing all their project management, code review, and triaging. The tools are ready, the sandboxed environments are stable, and corporate cost-cutting is going to follow immediately.
Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over. If our AI systems are learning from our local directories to perfectly mimic our logic and write our code, and our biology demands that we stay perfectly still in one time zone to optimize our health, what exactly is left for us humans to do?
I guess we'll find out.
Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Vibecasting.